In this video, we're going to be discussing how the power of pop-ups on your e-commerce dropshipping store can effortlessly increase your conversion rate. What's going on, guys? Yash here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is absolutely having a great week and a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do make sure to drop a huge like on this video so the YouTube algorithm can do its thing and reach and help as many people as possible. And lastly, if you guys are new, be sure to leave a subscribe on this video and become part of the family. So guys, I want to keep this video as upfront as possible, as short as possible, to make sure you guys are getting as much value in return. So today's topic, again, it's very small and it's very important as well. What we're going to be discussing is the pop-up aspect of your e-commerce store and why it's actually so important to have one. More than that, I'm also going to be showing you kind of the good and bad characteristics of pop-ups, and also I'm going to be showing you guys a few variations of pop-ups as well, including one of my own pop-ups that I use on my Valentine's Day store. So guys, let's get straight into it. So what are pop-ups and why? Okay, so basically pop-ups are part of your e-commerce website, okay? And I'm assuming most of you guys already have an e-commerce store up. Most of you may not even know kind of what pop-ups are. You probably don't have them properly configured. So again, we're going to be discussing as to how to use them to your advantage, both short-term and long-term as well. If you're just thinking of starting out an e-commerce store, then definitely stay tuned for the whole video, because this is very important to maximize your conversion rate on your overall store. So pop-ups are basically forms that literally pop up. Okay, you probably see them on many other kind of big e-commerce sites such as Adidas and Nike, Macy's. Basically, all e-commerce sites have pop-ups, right? And the main purpose of them is to turn more of your website visitors into potential sales and into potential customers. Again, a lot of you may already have pop-ups enabled, but you may probably not be able utilizing them the right way, okay? So pop-ups are so important because they open the gateway for potential email subscribers and to obtain an email list, okay? Once you get a few hundred people in your email list, you can basically send them newsletters on a weekly or monthly basis to keep them updated with your new releases, with your new offers, with your new promotions and stuff like that. And you can also remarket or retarget them, for example, with Facebook ads, if that is what you use. Personally, I do use Facebook ads, and one of my main brands, I have over 25,000 emails compiled over the last 18 to 20 months. So again, it's very helpful to literally go straight into those warm and hot audiences and to kind of retarget those, past customers and have them buy again from your store. And I was reading an article, and Shopify themselves actually said email marketing is the key to e-commerce success. A lot of people only rely on the Facebook ads or Instagram ads or Google ads, again, whatever sort of paid advertising medium that you're using. But this small aspect is very important to kind of get people's foot completely through the door, and also to kind of retain customers as well. So what makes a good pop-up? Well, first of all, an irresistible offer, okay, such as a percentage off of someone's overall offer, a dollar amount off, or free shipping, or anything like that. I usually do like 5% or 10% off, or maybe like even $5 off, depending on what I'm selling on the actual store. You want to basically make sure that, your profit margins and kind of your margins in general are not, sacrificed too much. Second, your pop-up, you want it to be in a format that blends in with the rest of the navigation, and you'll see in the rest of the examples I show you in just a little bit. You want to make sure it doesn't look too spammy, it doesn't look too out of place. Moving on to my next point, have a unique design, right? Something that basically blends in with the website, that has good visuals, good fonts, that is very congruent, right? But you also kind of want it to also have it stand out, okay? That's very important as well, because the main job of them is to basically reel people in, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You also want to have limited closing options, meaning, you want more than likely people to be guilted into entering their email or, kind of following the certain action steps required in your pop-ups. You want to have limited closing options, meaning maybe a very little no thanks button or a very little X button on the top or bottom right or something like that. Again, I'll kind of show you guys what I really mean by that. Also, interest and action words. Clear CTA, clear call to action, and clear hook. You want to also stress urgency and scarcity. So in return, people are reassured and then they convert. A lot of the times, people don't buy something because of the pricing, right? It may be too high or they're just basically not comfortable spending that X amount of dollars on your store. So that pop-up is to kind of, remove that kind of sales block or that sales wall that your potential customer may have. Again, it's to basically ease them slowly in. So not will it only benefit you guys, again, short term in terms of increasing that chance of that person converting, but also long term, like I said, because you can build up an email marketing list and stuff like that. So I'm going to be showing you guys a few example pop-ups. I found this really good one on this Shopify website called Carbon 38. I'm pretty sure they're either white labeled or private labeled, but this is a 3-sequence pop-up. I usually keep it to 2-sequence, but again, there's a few ways to actually go about this. So first and foremost, when do you want to have the pop-up, right? You want to have the proper timing. So there's 2 things. You don't want your pop-up to come right away as soon as someone basically lands on your landing page or your home page or your website, whatever it really may be, because you don't want someone to feel overwhelmed. I like to have my pop-up delayed to about 30 to 45 seconds so people can actually take their time, browse around, read your content, check out your pictures, images, kind of process a few things, okay? So again, you don't want it to come right away. You want it about delayed to 30 or 45 seconds. That's a sweet spot. Or you can have it based on exit intent, meaning as soon as someone is about to X in their browser off of your website, the pop-up will basically come like, oh, hey, by the way, don't go just yet. We have this for you. So I think this was based on exit intent. And what it says is, hey there, can we interest you in 10% off? Okay, you want to keep it very personal. You're basically speaking to the customer. I know a lot of people have pop-ups by default, and again, they don't really change them. This is kind of what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. I'll just say like here, it'll say enter your email or join our newsletter. Like you need a reason for people to actually give you their email, right? Their email is something personal to them, so you have to entice them, have something incentivizing, have something personal, speak to them. So again, this is very politely asking them like, hey, can we interest you in 10% off? And this says sure and no thanks. Again, this is a very limited closing option, so people's attention doesn't really go there. But let's say someone says sure can. Then it goes to this little pop-up right here. Good decision. Enjoy 10% off on your first order with us. Yes, you do want it. You do want this for your first time customers only, and you want the pop-up to expire like every few days as well. So someone can't basically reuse it a bunch of times when they order from your website. Okay. And then it says be the first to hear about sales, events, products, and launches, which is completely fine. Again, you want a reason for people. You just can't say like enter your email to receive our monthly newsletter. Like, okay, what's in it for me? So enter your email, access 10% off, and they still have this no thanks option. You don't want people to feel too pressured or too guilted into it either. You want a balance of both of them. Then it gives the actual code right here. Use first order 10 at checkout for 10% off for your order with us. So again, this is 3 steps. I like to personally keep it 2. Usually, I also like to include some sort of image that resembles your store. You also want it enabled for both mobile and desktop. Sometimes on mobile, the picture will basically take up too much space, so you can disable the picture and just keep the actual text as well. It completely depends on you and kind of the theme you're using as well. One other thing, most professional paid themes, that's why I love using paid themes, because they come with a lot of pre-installed tools, apps, and widgets. They will basically already come with something like this. So that is the beauty of professional paid themes. You can actually customize your actual pop-up. If not, you can basically configure your pop-up in apps like Klaviyo, which is also used for email marketing. There's also other third-party apps on the App Store as well, which we'll get to in a little bit once you see a different variation of this pop-up. The next one, this is actually from my store. So you see that I have a very simple, nice rose image right here because it was a Valentine's Day store. And it says, here's 10% off from us. Stay updated with our exclusive offers and deals. This is a little bit more straightforward. Someone enters their email, and again, they get the discount. Again, the colors and everything is super congruent what I was talking about in the slide before. You want it to basically, again, be very, very, very neutral and also kind of make sense. If most of your color schemes on your store are like red, black, and blue, you don't want this to be like purple or neon green or some color that basically throws customers off, because that also looks super unprofessional as well. So what I did on my store is when someone enters their email, it basically gives them another page or another pop-up that basically has, the code right there for people to actually enter. This is another one of my clients' store actually. She said it was okay for me to actually use her pop-up, but it says it's a little bit of a different approach, right? We want you on our friends list. Sign up now and enjoy 10% off of your first purchase. Cannot be combined with other offers, so they can basically only use this one discount code. So again, most people do 10%, but again, like I said in the beginning, you want to see kind of what's the best fit for you in terms of your margins based on what you're promoting. It may be one product, it may be multiple products, whatever. And just to go back, I have a very little X right here, so it's like people almost have to enter their email. If you have an irresistible offer and everything really makes sense, most people aren't going to really X out of here, right? So again, at this point, if someone's kind of leaning more towards not to buy because of that pricing point, that 10% off will definitely kind of push them over the edge and kind of get them to buy, right? That kind of wall gets away, that sales wall, like I was telling before. Again, here there's no X, but it just says no thanks, I don't like discounts, and I'm pretty sure the pop-up actually came on the next page, like a second sequence pop-up with the actual discount code as well. Also, you want the discount code to be very memorable. You want it to be very short. You don't want it to have like 15 or 20 characters. I believe the actual discount code for this store was like Lux 10, LUXE 10. Okay. So now, last but not least, this is a little bit of a different approach. This is also two steps, but what these guys are doing, and it totally makes sense, and I'll explain why, is instead of the pop-up or the discount code coming on kind of a second range or like a second step, they basically have people open their emails when it comes to the actual discount code. And this is good because it also gets people to getting accustomed to opening up your email, right? Kind of seeing your name in their emails. It's all basically psychology, right? It all kind of plays back to sales and marketing and whatnot. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. But it says, get the good stuff, love. Join the insider list. You'll be the first to know about the new arrivals, insider only discounts, and receive 15% off of your first Bico order. Newsletter, enter your email, subscribe, and they have a little picture right here of a woman because it is a female store. So again, I personally don't like to have people going to their emails because it's just a lot of steps. Some people may not even be logged into their emails, so they're like, screw it, I don't want to log in and check on my phone or on my desktop and kind of go and find that email and check the discount code and whatnot. It's not just as a straightforward process, but again, it does work in a pro that it gets people accustomed of seeing your email and actually opening up your email as well. So then when you do send them, their monthly or weekly newsletters, it basically makes them already more comfortable. It already makes them more aware of actually opening up this specific email. And especially if you're focusing on a store or a niche store, that's something more long-term that you want with quality, revisiting, and lifetime customers, something more sustainable. This may be more of a viable option for you guys. So, they're sending their welcome email along with the 15% off your first purchase online. It says, welcome, thanks for subscribing, enjoy 15% off of your first Bigo order with code WELCOME15. Again, very straightforward. A little shop now collection page, and then their jewelry, or sorry, their Instagram right here for them to stay connected. They're even putting free shipping on orders $150 or more within North America. Now, this is a little bit of a more established brand. If you're most likely, traditionally dropshipping, you do probably have free shipping, or you should already have free shipping enabled on your store. So again, you can use this, kind of bringing my last point from a few minutes to now, you can kind of get something like this integrated with Klaviyo or with any other third-party Shopify app as well if you guys don't want to do kind of, what this client of mine was doing or what I was doing, where the code comes on the step 2 of the pop-up, or this brand right here as well, right? So again, there's different ways to go about it, but I really, really, really want you to basically pay attention to the most common themes, right? Everything is super in sync, it's super professional, and this main call to action hook right here speaks to the customer. That's what I was talking about before, right? It's enticing. It just doesn't say, hey, enter your email, or here's our newsletter, or sign up for our newsletter, right? Because that's not a good enough reason for people to actually give you their email. Again, that's something very personal, and for some people, it's a bigger deal to actually, input their email on a site that they've never heard of before, or a site that they've basically never shopped from before. So again, a lot of people neglect or overlook pop-ups, but it's very, very important, especially if you want to build something long-term and sustainable. And a lot of the times people may be not purchasing something, because it may be too expensive. So this basically just gives them a little bit of a comfort bubble, a little bit of a cushion, and kind of puts them, or pushes them over the edge to kind of go ahead and purchase, whether it be $5 off, $10 off, $15 off. They're doing $15, not even 15%. So, which is great. Again, they probably have mid to higher ticket items. So, whatever really offering may be, I just stick to 10%. You want to basically include that, and you want to make it very obvious that, you're getting not only the 15% or the 10% off, but you're also going to be, by the way, staying updated with our insider only discounts, our latest offers, promos, and deals and stuff like that. So, you guys can literally select and do what's kind of the best for your store. I personally don't have it connected to my email. The pop-up just comes on the step 2 of the other pop-up sequence. But again, it really, really does not matter. You have to weigh out your options and see kind of what's the best for you. But this does increase your conversion rate. This does, get people to come back to your website as well. And, if you keep doing this, depending on how long you're running your store, you can definitely, utilize your collective email list and, sending out monthly or weekly marketing campaigns. And also to kind of remarket them back on like Facebook or whichever paid advertising platform you guys are using. So again, wanted to make this video very, very short, very quick, but also very to the point as to why pop-ups are so important and the power of them if you actually understand, kind of framing your offer the right way and actually, placing the physical aspect, the visual aspect of the actual pop-up the right way as well. So with that being said, guys, if you do have any questions, any thoughts, any concerns, please do drop them in the comments below. I really, really do try to respond to everyone. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Stay safe, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.